everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is quite a different one because today I thought it would be nice to do my most 3 recent lessons combined into one video. Now the reason behind this is because I didn't actually get much footage on each individual one, and I thought it would just be really nice to put them all together and make this video. Now, as you can probably tell, on this day it was so frosty. That's why it was extra important to have a proper good warm-up. So obviously we did do a longer warm-up than this, but unfortunately I didn't get it on camera. So then surprisingly I got really hot, and then I took off my coat. We were supposed to go to this pole, but for some reason Maya just didn't like it, so I thought, have a go and trot, see if that made any difference. Then she went over it, so I had another go in canter. Although for some reason she just wouldn't go over it. So this time I was thinking even more forward, and I turned a little bit earlier. But we did get closer, which was a bonus. And then, oh my gosh, we finally got over it. So then, to keep things even, I changed the rein over the pole. And as you might have been able to tell, we did end up doing jumping on this day, as the ground did look very hard, but it was very sloshy from the previous day, raining. So then we did a circle, and then I asked for canter in the circle as I asked to come over the pole in a diagonal. So then we thought it is finally time to get jumping. So as usual we started off very small, and today we unfortunately only did the jumps in trot, as we thought it would be a little bit too much because it was a little bit slippy to do both jumping and cantering. But then obviously on a nice dry day we normally do cantering up to a jump. Also, partly the reason why we did do jumping is because Maya can be quite lazy, and on this day she was being a little bit of a slow coach, and normally jumping gets her not necessarily forward compared to other ponies and horses, but I don't know, forward for Maya, let's just say, compared to usual. So yeah, that's partly the reason why we did it, and we thought let's just have one go at going over a jump downhill. So obviously you could tell it was a little bit slippy, so after that we decided to just go uphill, and then we went a little bit higher, which went well. Obviously we did knock it, so we decided to come over again just to teach her that it was okay, and I did lean forward a little bit. So then I came over this pole again, and then my riding instructor stood there, so I knew when to turn. So we tried to get the jumping as accurate as possible to look our very best, and then we put it on the highest crossbar possible, and we thought let's just see how that goes. And then Maya did launch over it, and then we thought, you know what, we finished cross pole, let's have a go at doing a very tiny upright, which I think it did go quite well. So then we went bigger, since the one before went fine. And what I think is so cute, Maya does go into a tiny little canter sometimes once she's popped over the jump, which I think, personally myself, is so cute. Lovely job. Okay, give her a trot. Okay everybody, moving on to lesson 2. So at this point of the lesson, we had already done, a good old warm-up, and then we had come down to this end and really wanted to work on our nose stirrups in the bottom end. Like I said, we didn't get much footage of this lesson, so that's why we only got the footage of us doing circles. So then at this point, we were just trotting, trying to get her trot as forward as possible, as on this day she was quite lazy. Of course, and not forgetting my posture as well, as when I have no stirrups, I do lean forward a little bit. And then in a minute, I try to change the rein in the circle. Now, this wasn't the easiest and it wasn't the best, so excuse that, as well as her going back into trot for a split second. Again, a very lazy trot, so excuse that. So then we started to work on doing circles smaller around my instructor and then getting them larger, depending on what way we were going, using both my inside leg and my outside rein. But of course, it does depend what way you're going. And then it got to the point where I had to have a go at doing a rising trot with no stirrups. Now this is definitely not my strong point. I'm not very good at that, so yeah, please excuse that. But yeah, I tried my best. Obviously it isn't, the greatest rising trot I've ever seen. But yeah, after I finished, I could definitely feel it. My legs were aching, I can tell you. And then here, doing the circles around my instructor again. Okay, so here I was just getting a nice forward trot. Again, I won't call it forward, but for Maya. So then we were going to have a go at doing canter with no stirrups. So a little bit of a pre-warning, it isn't the best and it didn't go on for the longest. But it was a bonus, as I normally find it quite hard to get into canter with stirrups. So it went alright. Again, very short, but it went okay. And then on the second canter, we did manage to go for longer, which was a great achievement for us. Again, not very long, but it was very, very well done. Okay, everybody, now on to lesson 3. So here, just a little bit of a warm up over the poles. We did do some before, but like I said right at the beginning, we didn't get much footage of these lessons, so that's why I combined them. And I'm really sorry that you can't hear much because of the wind. This was such a windy day, so we weren't sure how she was going to be. But yeah, that's why it might look a little bit dodgy. So in the previous lesson, that was when I fell off. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on camera, so I was really, really upset about that. But yeah, I fell off, I was fine. I got back on. It was just in a spooky corner down the circle end, so that's why we just filmed that circle, so then we could just show what happened. So here, just doing some serpentines. And then here, for some peculiar reason, she just didn't like the poles. I tried to get her over them, but she just didn't like it, bless her. So then I thought, have another go in trot, just to see how things were. But then, yeah, it went okay, and she went over them, which we were very pleased with. Okay, now we started to get cantering. So she was quite lazy on this day, but she did do some nice canters, and as I do think the wind did get up her bum a bit. But yeah, she did do it very nicely. But yeah, this was all part of our warm-up, and we were just working on getting a nice forward canter, and here with a quite nice transition. So here, just trying to get her into a nice forward canter, as later I do try to get her over the poles in a canter on a circle. So here I was just going large. So obviously there she did dodge the poles, so I came over in trot to see if that made a difference. Here got a nice forward canter, did a full lap of the school, came over in trot again. She did go in canter when she got to the poles, so we decided now would be a good time in the circle. I really pulled her and kicked her, and it worked. Yes, I did trip a bit, but at least we went over them. So then, now our warm-up was done, we moved the poles to the long side so we could start having a go at striding. Now when I first got Maya, it was something that we did struggle with a bit. So this was really testing how much we had improved, and now she built up the muscle, we thought it would be a good time. So then I just cantered over them at first to count our normal striding so we could work on getting it slower and faster. Here I think we were aiming to get it a bit faster. Not sure we did do it though, so we still pushed it. So obviously we did do much more of that, but I didn't get it on camera like I said because of the wind and everything. So here was our cool down, and because she was sort of yanking on the reins, I don't know if you saw, I think we didn't get it on camera, but we were teaching her, yes, it's okay to stretch because she was leaning on her front end more, or she has been leaning, so we're just really working on that. But yeah, if you liked today's video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!